Hi honey, how are you? I'm so glad that you now come back to the city and get back to what you're doing. Is now you already be a graduate student, and from now on, everything your life uh, would be changed. No more study, no more go to the school. As now you will have many new activity, the social activity, and the most important thing now, uh, do all the thing for our plan, and I'm very happy about that. Today I will come back to you some maybe some experience or some tip to practice English, especially for speaking. You know that listening and speaking, that means it is in a real conversation is very important. It is the key. It's the key of success. It's not just in the U.S. but anywhere in the world. And today another thing I would like to give you is some maybe some called several rules in practicing speaking English. The number, I think there's many rules, maybe 10 or more than 10, and I try to find out every day, and will give you one. I already practice this and feel some useful from it. And the rule number one, study new vocabulary. That means study new words. And you can understand that is now we study English for several times, maybe in a long time, more than 7 years, from secondary school to high school and then in university. But we spend a lot of time in studying English, practicing English, and the outcome, the result, that we have very limited. And actually we have to admit that our ability, our skill of English for conversation is still very little and not enough. It's really not enough for the conversation, for study in English and for working in English. So we have to practice it and to improve our skill and our language level. We have to learn a new word, a new vocabulary, and use it in in a most comfortable way. So when you study a new word, always put it in sentence. For example, you study a new word, just love. I mean that example that love. You put in the sentence that John loves Mary a lot. So when you put it in the sentence, you not only study about love, you study about the grammar. That means when you put it in the sentence and you practice it and speak it out loud, John loves Mary a lot. And then when you repeat, keep on repeating, speak about the sentence, you will automatically add s into love. That means you not only study the new vocabulary, you but also you study grammar, and and you have a new word will come to you. It's not just a meaning; it's a whole picture, for the new word. So when you do in that method, in that rule, you feel very easy to understand and to memorize a new word. Okay. Never study in a single word, study in a phrase. When you got the new word, in reading or watching television, just write it down and put it in your own sentence. Or you take out a sentence in the real conversation, or in the newspaper, or in the English story. Just take it out and put it in the sentence, and learn it, repeat it, maybe learn it by heart, and repeat it, talk it many times as possible, maybe 10 or more than 10 times, so that you could understand the new word, you could learn the grammar, and you have a picture on the new word. That's rule number 1. We know it very clearly that study new vocabulary must put in the sentence, and now we should do this way. And when you have the have an opportunity to use the word, so you will use it freely and automatically, without thinking, without worrying about grammar or something. You will use it maybe naturally. Sure, I'm sure too. So start practicing today. From today, study new word in a phrase. It's not the words only. Remember that? That's a rule number 1. I will take my time to give you the rule number 2. It's very funny rule, and you could not imagine that that the rule of speaking English, the rule, and that forgot the grammar. We study enough grammar to care about, so never worry about the grammar. It's just follow. Just keep on practicing and talking like all the people do, like a movie do, like a radio do, or like a podcast. Every day you listen, you hear a podcast, and try to repeat it, and try to use the sentence from the podcast. Never worry about the grammar, because when you use the grammar, it make your brain to think, and you will very difficult to respond it automatically and immediately. So that's why the speaking or the conversation you make feel very slow. And now our target is how to speak, how to respond it immediately,